We are already discussing about VPC peering in detail. So as a part of that, in the last couple of videos, theoretically and logically, we were discussing about VPC peering. We understood about the limitations of the traditional way of communicating different VMs that are part of a different VPCs using the external IP addresses. And we also understood about how VPC peering, establishes simplified, straightforward communication between VPCs or a different VPCs, okay, either in the same project or in different project. So in this video, and the continuation to that, in this video, let's have a hands-on understanding, okay, practical understanding about the VPC peering. So there are two different possibilities again. Either we can establish a VPC peering between different VPCs, but in the same project, or we can establish a VPC peering between different VPCs that are part of different projects itself. All right. So in this video, let's start with the first one, like establishing a VPC peering between different VPCs, but in these within the same project. Okay. And following to that, in the next video, let's see how to establish a VPC peering between different project itself. Okay. Fine. Let's go to our console. All right. So we are back to our Google Cloud Console. Let's see, do we have any um, compute engine or the VM instance available? Because I believe last night, once we done for the day, I have deleted the VMs. I have actually disabled it, but for some reasons I have deleted it. All right, so no problem. We already have PPCs created, right? Let's just create the VM instance for our testing. So maybe I'll just show you to ensure that the VPCs are still available. All right. All right. See, so this is the VPCs that we have created in our last section, right? So we still have a default VPC and the VPC which we have created in the auto mode. And this is the VPC that we have created in the custom mode. All right. Fine. So what I'll do, I'll first create, two VM instance within a same VPC. I'll show you how the communication is happening using the internal IP addresses, and then we'll create another VPC part of a different another VM instance part of a different VPC, and let's check whether the communication is happening. It will not happen because it's part of two different VPC, right? And then once we create VPC peering, it will start to work. Okay, this is what we are going to see practically in this video. So in order to do so, I'll just came to compute engine, the VM instance. Okay, I'll first create one VM instance. I name it as like my VM1. Okay, and let it be part of central one. Okay, US central one, Iowa. And to reduce the cost, let me come here, shared core, F1 micro. And I don't want to change anything else because I just want to have this VM deployed in the default mode. Okay, so I'll just click here networking. If you come here just to check it, okay, it's a part of a default network, so that once it's created you'll be seeing it's getting an IP in the subnet 10.128.0.0/20, and it would be part of a default network. All right, so let it come. In the meantime, let's go ahead and create two more VM instance. Okay, and this VM instance should be a part of let's make it comes in different VPC. Okay, my VM2, right? So maybe I'll just create this my South Asia one, which is Mumbai. Okay, and I'll just scroll down, coming to advanced under networking. There is a place here, network interface. I don't want this particular VM to be in the default network. I want to have it in my custom network. Okay, the custom VPC. So I'm selecting it custom, and again we have two subnets. That's fine. Maybe I'll just go with one. I'll create it. So I have created the second VM instance. All right. If you see here, right, the first VM instance is already created now. Okay, it has an IP 10.128.0.24. All right, and as I said, it's part of a default network. So now we are creating the second VM, and it would be part of South Asia 1, which is Mumbai, and it would be getting IP 10.10.10. Yep, it got 10.10.10.4, and it is part of VPC custom 1. All right. So now let me try to create one more VM instance. Okay. Just to show you two things. The objective in this video is to show you two things. One is to show you the communication between two VMs part of same VPC, and the communication between VM that are part of different VPC. All right. So for a different VPC, anyway, we have two VMs. Both are part of different. But in order to show you how to communicate, means how the communication happens within the same VPC, I need one more instance. It can be either in custom or it can be in the default. It's as per our wish. VM3. Maybe I'll just go with the default only. Okay. Maybe I'll just make it Europe. Okay. Europe or London. Fine. And let me come down. Chat core F1 my crew. And okay. We don't need to make any changes here because anyway by default it will take the default subnet. I'll just create it. All right, so totally we have three VM instances created now. And if you see, my VM1 and my VM3 would be part of a default VPC, and my VM2 instance is part of my custom VPC. Okay, so let's wait for a few more seconds to this VM3 to get deployed. So we are getting error saying that some, okay, instance currently unavailable. Okay, it's suggesting us to create something else. Means I think the machine type or the resources which you have requested is not available at that region. Not a problem. My VM3. Let me go back to something else. London. Okay, E2 is fine. Then micro 2. Let me check. Just create. As it's already part of default, it would get an IP from the default, subnet. Let's check whether the selected machine type is available in this region. If not, again, it will throw an error. Wait for a few more seconds. All right, now it's created, right? So this is what I was thinking to show you. If you see here, totally we have three VMs now, in which that VM1 and VM3 are part of default VPC. Okay, which means that this VM1 and VM3 are part of same VPC, which named as default, where VM2 is a part of different VPC. Okay, so as I said earlier in the beginning of the video, we have two objectives in this hands-on. One is to establish a communication between a VMs in same VPC, and part two, to establish a communication between VMs in different VPC. So let me try to connect from my VM1 to my VM3. Okay, maybe let's initiate just a ping. Okay, nothing more than that, just a ping. Let's try to connect from here to here. Though it is in central US1, means in the US central one Iowa region, and this is at London. Okay, it would establish a connection using the internal IP addresses. Okay, let me just SSH to it and also SSH towards it. It would take few seconds. So once it's loaded, it would ask you to authorize. Just click authorize, so it will get authorized. I'll bring, this is also asking for authorize. All right, fine. So just make it down, make it down. All right, so we have my VM1, which is part of the central Iowa left side, and we have the other VM which is deployed at London at the right side, right? So if you want to see the IP address, either there are two ways. You can just scroll a little and you can check the internal IP addresses here. Okay, and also just to confirm, okay, if you want to confirm is that the same, you can just come here and issue the command IP address. Okay, so if you see here, means it's having the IP address 10.128.0.24. You'd be seeing the same IP address here. Okay, so which means that this side we have this one, my VM1, and we have this name also here. Also, at the right side, if you see IP address, so this is right side, it has IP 10.154.0.2. All right. So as I said earlier, both are within the same VPC. That's the default VPC, but in different geographical location with different region, right? Though they are in a different geographical location, as they are part of same VPC, if we try to ping or try to connect, it would work. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just copy this and I'll paste here. Okay, from here I'm trying to ping the IP address of this one. Okay, see, I'm getting response. So basically the communication is happening as same. I'm just stopping it. If I want to reach this network, okay, this destination, just go here, paste it. I just try to ping. See, I'm getting responses. So which means bidirectionally it's working good. From where, from US, the VM that's deployed in US, I'm trying to ping to the VM that's deployed in London. I'm getting a response, right? It's getting communicated. We can also test in other ways, like we can, do telnet, or sorry, we can do SSH and all. But still, this confirms that the communication is happening, right? So this is what we have discussed in the previous video. Like for the communication between VMs within the same VPC, it will make use of internal IP addresses. If you see here, right, it's making use of the internal IP addresses, and it doesn't require any additional configuration or extra configurations. However, if you want to establish a communication between a VM in one VPC to the other, it required, means the traditional way of communication required the additional configuration. Let me show you, right? What I'll do, if you scroll down a little, see, so now we have communicated from VM1 to VM3, right? Because both are, means VM1 and VM3 are part of same VPC, that is default. Now let's do one thing. Let's try to initiate a ping to this VM. Okay, from VM1, let's try to ping this IP, which is mean from my VM1, which is hosted at US Central 1, Iowa, to the other VM which is deployed at Mumbai region, but in different VPC. Okay, it has an IP 10.10.10.4. As same from this VM3 also, let's try to ping this, but we will not get any response. Okay, I'll just show you 10.10.10.4, right? 10.10.10.4. Yep, it's 10.10.10.4. Right, I'll just try to ping 10.10.10.4. Hit enter. You will not get any response from the right side also. From the London VM instance also, I'll just try to ping the same. All right, so if you see here, last time when we tried to connect to other VM which with a part of same VPC, immediately we get a response. But this time when we try to ping to a VM that's part of a different VPC, we are still not getting any response, right? Also, it's not only from this side, means from the other side as well. If you try to, means I'm just opening the VM2 instance as well. Okay, from here, if you try to ping either this or this, it will never work. Okay, because by default it will not work using the internal IP address. So that's what the traditional method is. If you want to make them to, by using a traditional method, if you want to establish a communication, you need to expose their external IP address towards the internet. But we are not going to do that because we are discussing about VPC peering. Okay, so we are going to establish a VPC peering, and let's see how it's happening using the VPC peering. So the reason why I'm showing all this is to, we can directly go and create the VPC peering, but before that we need to understand as like, okay, what is the challenges, where it is not working, right? So only then it would be help us to understand in depth. All right, so now I'm in VM2, right? Let me try to ping either VM1 or VM2, which has IP 10.128.0.24. I will not get any response. All right, so it's not working. We already tested from the other side also. Maybe this time, see, 100% packet loss. I'll also put 10.154.0.2. See, I'm not getting any response. Right, fine. So let's hold it for now. Maybe let's initiate some ping and let's leave it for here now. Okay. So if you see here from VM2, we already initiated ping towards this one. Okay. But so far we have not received any response. Also from VM3, if you see here, right, we already initiated a ping towards VM2. Still we have not responded. We have not seen any response. Same for from a VM1 also, we have initiated ping towards VM2. So far there is no response. But as soon as we create this VPC peering, immediately you will be seeing a response. Okay. Maybe I'll just show in order to differentiate it, right? I'll just put this. Fine. So just to show you the difference, because once this, the VPC peering is established, you'd be seeing that it started to ping, right? So that, but still the ping is the request is online only. It's keep on sending ping only. Okay. All right. Let's minimize this for now. Fine. Okay. So now we have this VM, right? So basically what we're trying to do, as I said earlier, we are going to establish a VPC peering between different VPCs but within the same project. Okay, so currently I'm in learn GCP in English project, and within the project I have a different VPC. One is a default and the other one is VPC custom. Okay, I'm going to establish a VPC peering between these two different VPCs. Okay, so that as soon as I create the VPC peering between these two different VPCs, immediately the traffic would pass, or we'll be getting a response from the other side. Okay, so in order to go there, just I'll just come here. It's VPC network, VPC networks, or you can, again, as I said earlier, you can go to this navigation menu, and by clicking here you can just go to VPC network peering. Okay, all right. So so I'm in a VPC network now. I'll just create the left side. You'll be seeing the option as VPC network peering. Click it. All right. So once it's lowered for the very first time, you'll be seeing like this. Okay. First, we need to establish a VPC peering. Okay. By default, there is nothing here. I'm just click create connection, and it's telling, means if in case you want to establish a communication or the peering between different project, you need to have the project ID. Okay. So it is giving you the reminder. But in this case, or in this video, we are just seeing establishing a peering between different VPCs, but part of the same project. So we can just ignore it. Continue. Here we can give a name. I'm just giving VPC appearing like 1. All right. And you need to define your network. Which is your network? One is default. Okay. And it is asking whether it is within the same project or it is between the different project. Okay. But in this video, as I said, we are saying within a project only. All right. So it's asking, okay, from this default to which other VPC you want to establish a peering. So that is this one. If you just click here, you'll be seeing all the available VPCs here. So I just want to establish a VPC peering towards my this one, the custom one. I'm just clicking it. That's it. Scroll down, click create. So as soon as you click create, you would be seeing a VPC peering is established between a default towards custom, but still you'd be seeing is like inactive. The reason is you are establishing a peering from default to the VPC custom one. Okay, so you need to create one more from custom towards the default as well. Okay, so that's the reason you're seeing it as like inactive. Okay, even if you refresh, it seems to be the same unless until you create other peering, okay, from VPC custom 1 to default. All right, I'll show you how to do it. It's the same process. I'm just clicking create VPC. You can give any name. I'll just put like VPC peering 2. Maybe for a better understanding, we can also make it as like VPC peering from default to custom, and the next one we can name it as like VPC peering custom to default. All right, it's up to you. Fine. So if you remember, in a VPC peering 1, I mentioned as like default is my VPC network. Okay, because that peering is establishing from default towards custom. But here now we are doing it from custom towards default, okay, for return. So this side I'm putting as custom this side, okay, because last time I put default. And as you know, this is within the project. I'm not making any changes here. Just come here. Last time, as we made a default here, from default, we made it to custom, right? This time we made custom here. So from custom, we want to send it to default. That's it. Just click create. So as soon as you create, you'd be seeing that from inactive, it would be coming active. So once this, it's completed, now it's creating the peering connection. So once it is successfully created, you'd be seeing as like active here in a green box. So also if you see here, right, as I said earlier, VPC 1, the peering 1 is about from default towards VPC custom 1, where else it's a return 1. VPC peering 2 is from custom 1 VPC towards default. It's a vice versa, okay, two way. All right, and it's explicitly for a IPv4 stack type. Successfully created peering connection. Let me refresh it. See, immediately it came active. Let's go to our CLI and see. We'll be seeing the responses received. See, we are getting responses. If you remember last time, right? This is from my VM2, which is the custom one. From a custom one, if you go here, from this one, I was trying to reach this VM, which is part of a default, right? So last time when I was trying to reach, it was not getting any response. So for a reference, I just made it dash, right? See, now we are getting a response as soon as we establish the VPC peering. All right. So I'll just show you the other aspect. See, this is the other window and this is VM3. Okay, from VM3, we initiated a ping towards VM2, 10, 10, 10, 4. Okay, last time we didn't get a response until we established the VPC peering. So just for a reference, we may mark it dash, right? So see, once the VPC peering is established, we are getting the responses. All right. So maybe the third one. So this should be the third one. And if I scroll here, yeah, this is from VM1. From VM1 also we tried to connect to VM2, which is a part of two different VPCs. We didn't get any response. So we made it and see, we're getting response. All right. So this is how you can establish a communication between different VM instances that are part of a different VPCs. So I'll just recall it once again. When you want to establish a communication between different VMs that are part of a same VPC, we don't need to do anything. By default, it will allow the communication and it will happen using the internal IP addresses. However, if you want to enable a communication between VM instances that are part of two different VPCs in the traditional way, you need to expose their external IP addresses to and need to do other configuration, parameters, and it's little complex. But VPC means VPC peering is a concept that will establish a simple, straightforward communication. And in this method, you don't want your external IP address to put it front of internet. All right. So in this video, we establish a communication between a different VPCs in the same project, right? So in the next video, let's see how to establish a VPC peering to enable a communication between different VM instances that are part of a different VPCs from completely different projects. All right, fine.